Noisy Pixel.
Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the Unqualified Game Chat. I'm your host, Azario Lopez, with my co-host, Spencer Legacy.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Spencer, more importantly, how are you?
I'm doing great. You know, I love being on this podcast. I love recording. I love being part of the game industry with someone else for an hour every Wednesday.
You're not even.
night.
I love that you're not even being sarcastic. Like, this is real Spencer.
This is
Like
real.
anybody else,
completely real.
sarcasm.
But me, it's real. I'm in a good mood. And I'm
I
excited.
can see stars in your eyes.
Ah, I love it.
This podcast is posted every week to noisypixel.net and monstervine.com on Thursdays. Also available on Apple and Spotify and YouTube.
It's true.
So there you go.
Come check us out on every platform. Raise our viewer numbers.
Yeah, listen to it at least 5 times.
Have you guys been watching Last Gen?
Did you watch that one episode of Last Gen?
Did you watch it?
That fucking blew up? Dude, right after Legend of Mana got announced, the remastered, dude, that Last Gen is beginning plays and everyone's like, oh, you didn't mention they're remastered. Brother, did you check the date?
Yeah,
Did you
this
check-
is an old video.
God. But I'm glad someone's watching it because literally Last Gen, the Legend of Mana is
so
the
good.
greatest deep dive, a fucking deep dive into that history.
By anyone out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the best.
Fucking the composer for Kingdom Hearts. How can you call yourself a Kingdom Hearts fan if you haven't even played Legend of Mana?
It's true.
You can't. They're practically the same game.
It's literally the same. Mickey Mouse is in both of them, as I understand.
It's a secret character.
Oh, you didn't get him? That's interesting.
Well, you should have watched Last Gen. I swear. I just needed to hit 1,000. Once it hits 1,000 plays, I'll think about releasing the other episode.
We might give you another one.
I give you a taste.
That gets
and, then,
2,000.
and then whatever we release, we'll get a remastered in probably a month timing.
We're going to get the weirdest remastered game. Just the strangest collection of games.
I want to know, Spencer, what you're playing.
Yeah, so this week it's still pretty dry for review stuff. So I was like, what should I play? And I found the PlayStation Plus game Concrete Genie, and I was like, I have a shirt of that from PSX. I should know whether I like that game or not. So I finally played it, and it was very charming. It was like half the game is an art-based platformer. So you're making art on walls to like retake zones of this like derelict town. And that was like very fun and very charming. And then midway, like 3/4 through the game, it's like, all right, now it's Epic Mickey and you're fighting with a paintbrush and there's Heartless essentially. And you have to save all these people and creatures using your paintbrush. And it's a very weird transition because you were originally just making art with light platforming, and then they add combat, and it's definitely not the best part of that game. But overall, I think it's a very small, fun little experience, and I think it's like the perfect kind of PlayStation Plus game because you get to experience it not for free because you're paying, but almost for free, and it's a good way to kind of take in that game. That's now I can wear the shirt and know that I played it. So that's the real benefit here.
They won't make fun of you.
Yeah,
when you're
they won't
standing
say,
in line at PlayStation Experience 2022.
2022, they bring it back. Oh,
I want to know 2 things.
Yes.
1, did you cry?
I didn't cry. No,
Is that because you weren't emotionally involved?
I wasn't that emotionally involved. I was like, okay, it's a kid and he's being picked on, and then he's like it's a nice little conclusion to that arc, but I didn't cry.
What's the last thing that you cried to?
My birth.
Maybe Concrete Genie got to you a little more than you thought.
So I don't know what the last thing I cried out was. That's tough. I'm not really a crier. I'm a sulker. Something sad. Just like the rest of the day, I'm like,
here it comes again. I'm about to be let down again.
Yeah, I just kind of sulk around. I'm like, I'm sad. So I don't know what the last thing I cried out was. I couldn't tell you.
I think the last thing I cried out was probably an Attack on Titan episode. But
Right.
I don't want to spoil any of that for anybody. So second thing.
Yes.
Is this a VR game?
It is. I haven't played the VR part yet.
Oh, okay.
I have VR. I should do it. But I haven't
No one
played
plays their VR, don't worry.
You don't play Arkham VR every day?
Dude, how do you feel about a new VR 2 unit being announced for PS5? Do you think that they should just let it go?
I don't know. Like, it's a noble thing to be so invested in VR, because I think VR is really cool, and games like Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners are proof that like you can make a VR game, not an experience. So I think there's a lot of potential there, and I think PlayStation being in on it is great. I just think they need to improve their approach to it and make it less kind of standalone, like its own column far away from the other VR stuff.
Yeah, I think you make a good point. And to that, it's like, if Sony wants to do VR, they need to make development teams dedicated to VR.
Mm-hmm.
I think all too often you have a developer just get a team of 5 or 10 people to make this gimmick VR game, and then they stop supporting it after that. The great thing about Saints and Sinners and why it's so successful is that the development team that's working on that game is still working on it. They're still updating it. It's still live. You know, you can go into it every month and find something new through an update or through a balance patch. And I think that's the big issue with VR, is that you have these great studios making a VR experience and then they just leave it. They move on.
Yeah.
And then with Respawn and Medal of Honor, dude, that game got shit on. I couldn't even review it because I couldn't play it.
Yeah.
I have RTX 3070. Wouldn't work. Wouldn't work, dude.
Shit.
I was like, you know what? I can't even play the damn game. Like, I was just so upset. You know, maybe if I go into it now, maybe it has been optimized since I last tried to play it. But I was pretty let down by that. And then it just occurred to me that Respawn doesn't need this. You know, they have plenty of other teams that are working on better games right now, and they probably don't even care. You know, and that's what
you're probably right.
Yeah. So I think that if Sony wants to be a contender in the VR space, they need development studios that just focus on VR. Because why are you going to buy a VR unit when the Oculus 2 is so cheap? And for someone who just wants to play a quick VR, $300 can get you right into the game. Like with one of the best hardware. If you're coming in at that entry level, you're not gonna need anything else. You're not gonna need a beefy PC or anything. So yeah, it's, I don't know, kind of bothersome.
They got a ways to go, but their heart's in the right place.
I do think it's funny that he's like, "Oh, we'll make it one chord."
Yeah, I was like,
shouldn't that have been your first?
You don't brag about one chord. You know, like, it's one.
Gonna have one chord, guys. Get ready.
Yeah, like, to be fair, the existing PSVR is a lot of chords, so it's a marked improvement, but it's like bragging like, I got a C+.
I hate how the fan on like the VR dongle kind of gets kind of loud sometimes.
Yeah.
It bothers the hell out of me. What am I doing to you?
I will say, PlayStation was very fast to send me the adapter for PS5, so they're doing well in that regard.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So
good. Anything else?
No, that's pretty much all I played between school and doing some writing and stuff. So, but I want to know what you've played.
I have been playing. I think it's a shoot 'em up that just released on PS4 and PC. It's called Natsuki Chronicles. It released exclusive to Xbox One in 2019, but shmup fans will know that it started development in 2015 and like went into development hell for a long time.
Yeah,
and then came out in 2019. And I didn't play it on Xbox One, but I played the PS4 version and reviewed it. And I think I wish I played it earlier because it's a really good shmup. You can tell that the developers were like fans of the game, and that's kind of what I like. Like any like pain points you might have with a shmup like projectiles, right? If you're playing like a Toho Danmaku crap coming at you, you kind of have to position your character thinking that bullets aren't going to rain on you. But this game has projectile lines that show you where the bullets are going to be after they launch. So if a laser comes out, you see this red line like, hey, don't go there in a little bit because you're about to get shot. Super interesting. Also, one of the features is that even if you die, it takes your score and it applies it to each stage. And when you level up in a stage, you actually get more energy. So as you level up in a stage, each time you level up, you get an extra energy bar. And this is to hopefully help you get further in the stage. You also have a level tied to your character where you unlock new weapons. And you have a front and a back weapon, and then you have a special shield weapon, and it's pretty interesting. So I love those features.
Awesome.
It's all score based, so it keeps true to the arcade like nature, and there's cutscenes and stuff. Really cool game. If you didn't play it on Xbox One, I suggest maybe checking it out on PC and PS4.
Yeah. So as a shoot 'em up fan, where does it stand with other ones? Is it a cut above? Is it pretty average?
It's very, I mean, I guess I can compare it to like R-Type, but I don't know. Just the systems alone make it pretty unique. It's not something that I've played before, I guess, but it has that R-Type kind of 2D side scrolling feel. But yeah, Life Force maybe a little bit of Life Force. But it's a good one.
Nice.
Yeah. And that's all. That's all I've actually been playing.
Awesome. Yeah, because you've been so busy making the site as smooth as it is.
As smooth as possible. And just pulling out my hair every time something goes wrong. And I understand that this is why, Spencer.
Yes.
Websites have development teams. So not only am I the editor, but I'm also a developer, a web developer.
You wear a lot of hats.
A lot of little hats. I'm a little hat guy.
You wear multiple at once. You're like a TF2 character. You just have hats everywhere.
Collect my little hats.
Driving you insane.
You know what I hate the most? I don't know if you hate this, but I hate getting called out for typos. Like, I appreciate it, but like inside, I'm just like, fuck you.
Why do you care? And then you're like,
you know what I'm trying to say.
And so don't point them out, everybody.
I think I hate it more when it's in a tweet because like it just glares at me like, oh,
you can't edit still.
Yeah. So I have to delete the tweet and then retweet it. But if I delete the tweet, then it doesn't actually delete for everyone. It's still going to show up on some people's timeline because the cache will just load it on their thing anyway.
Yeah.
So now I'm feeling bad because now all the followers have to see two of the same tweet because I wouldn't want to see that.
All messed up and
don't call me out on my typos. I know I do it.
We're trying, fellas. We're trying.
You know, I got Grammarly on Max, you know. It's probably overloaded. I'm probably overloading their servers every morning.
They're facing the same problem as us.
But yeah, so let's get into our discussion.
Yeah.
This week. I want to talk about NieR Replicant, but more specifically the NieR phenomenon that is NieR Automata. The series has sold 5.5 million units worldwide.
That's nuts.
This is digital sales too. I believe it's not even released on Xbox One yet. I think it's coming.
Oh, really?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, April 2nd. It comes to Xbox Games Pass.
Wow.
So people will play it on there. NieR Replicant is a remaster of one of the games that we didn't get in the West.
Yeah.
We just got NieR. But they're very similar games in tone. They just kind of tell different stories. I want to talk about the series, and you played NieR Automata. So what made you want to get into that game?
I heard from Will, that my other boss, that it was a really interesting game. So I was like, okay, that sounds like, he said it was weird and interesting. So I was like, that's my cup of tea. I like weird and interesting. So I grabbed it, and it's one of the strangest games I've ever played in my life. You have to play through it multiple times, but every time is very different. And it doesn't feel like a slog because you're invested in seeing, like, the first story is like, oh, it's a pretty straightforward, like, action story. And then the second one gives it more perspective. And then it just goes out of control into this insane new story. And it starts breaking the fourth wall and doing all this meta stuff and completely, like, upending its own narrative, but in a way that works. And to me, it was just, like, the most intriguing thing because, like, it had really strong action combat from Platinum. And, like, for example, my brother, he never finished the game because he got too into the combat side where he was, like, burned out because he would, like, min-max everything. Well, I, on the other hand, was in it for the story. So I thought that it was so strange and so, like, it was like an emotionally involved story as it went on, which is strange because it's about, like, these, like, weirdly clad robots who can just die and come back, and they fight other robots, and, like, there's no way to describe it in a way that encompasses how creative it is. So the best thing I can say is that it's the kind of game that only, like, there's nothing like it. And to me, that was very interesting. So I haven't played the original NieR, but I was on a gaming forum when I was a teenager, and everyone there loved it for a lot of the same reasons. So it seems to be, like, a consistent theme in the series that it's kind of like this very peculiar but very, very, like, easy to invest yourself in kind of game, so long as you're open to strange things.
Yeah, I think NieR suffered from promotion in the West, the original at least. It kind of just looked like a macho game, you know, like the main character at the time that it was released, there was just a lot of games that were trying to get this actiony appeal, but it was everything but an action game. And I think marketing it as like a not a Darkstalkers, but what's that one game where the guy goes to hell and like a ghost, and there's a Darksiders.
Darksiders?
Yeah, Darksiders.
First one's like Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, not that. Darksiders, like, it's like a kind of a bigger main protagonist, you know, kind of oddly shaped. It came out around that time, you know, where we had those types of protagonists. And I think that not a lot of people played it because of that, but those who did were able to remind people, no, this is like an action shmup with RPG elements and a lot of story. It's not something that you can it's not something that you can beat in a night. It's gonna
No.
it's an overarching narrative that includes characters and stuff. But I think my biggest takeaway when I played the game, when I first played it, is that I had no idea that it was a part of the Drakengard series.
Yeah, I never knew that either.
Yeah.
I mean, it has a different name, so that's it's fair.
Yeah,
to not
that would
know
be hard. It would be hard to guess.
Yeah, but at the same time, like that's so interesting. Yoko Taro is like a fascinating guy. From the games he makes to like just who he is, he's so fascinating, and I think that his personality shines really well, at least in Automata. So I'm very interested in Replicant because, I mean, it's more weird NieR, and it's kind of like Suda 51 or Kojima, where when you play a game like by them, you know it's by them. So I'm excited for like another Yoko Taro game.
Yeah. So I did play on PS2. I played Drakengard and Drakengard 2.
Yeah.
And I just like dragons, to be honest with you. I beat Drakengard 3. I'm probably one of the few people who actually liked the game. But I think my NieR Automata, to me, I didn't beat the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone's like addiction to the main protagonist's butt and stuff.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that.
Like, I mean, you know me, I'm all for the butts, but I hate that the media and everybody likes to pick and choose which butts, the dead or alive butt. No,
that's
NieR
a
Automata
weird
butt. Yes,
that's a weird. It's dead or alive.
Yeah. So like you had like leading up to the Dead or Alive 6 launch, you have everybody saying like, oh, the sexual content, oh, blah blah blah. But leading up to NieR Automata launch, you have people like, check out this butt shot, of 2B.
There's a trophy for it,
and
there's like an actual trophy for looking at her butt.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's fine, but I just didn't like that. We kind of had to that the people that I typically don't like were celebrating this game that they typically denounce. And that made me not like it. It's like I attribute it to like bands, I guess, in music where, man, if this person likes this band, it's clearly not a good band. Even if they are a good band, I'll judge the fans more than I'll judge the band.
Yeah, it's like for weebs who might not listen to bands, it's like My Hero Academia.
Yeah,
You watch it and you're like, this is great, and then you see its fan base and you're like, that's not great, and it kind of sours you a bit, which is bad.
Yeah,
but sometimes you can't really help it.
Yeah, that's true. Persona kind of is getting there for me. Persona's getting there for me.
Yeah.
Kids just go a little too hard. I respect the fandom. I just don't like when, and it's not, I'm not gatekeeping or anything. I'm just trying to get everybody on the same page as to, if you're going to celebrate this art form, then celebrate it and don't talk down on others that are doing it because they don't do it the way you like it.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's dead or alive.
Yeah, and that's just one example. They do it.
Yeah.
They do it to a lot of games, but it's like the whole Capcom thing with the girls stepping on them and stuff. Like, everybody, even big media outlets, are like celebrating this woman who's going to step on them.
Yeah,
and they'll like throw any boob jiggle physics under the bus. Like, come on.
Yeah. It's like, we all know that if Lady Mudlubla had jiggle physics, everyone would be like, wow.
Yeah. Oh, shove it in my face when you're stepping on my crotch.
Exactly. So it's a very pick and choosy kind of thing.
So that's why I played a couple endings, and then I just kind of jumped off of it. And I got into hipster mode, so I replayed Drakengard 1 through 3 just to just to tell myself that I'm cooler than everybody else.
Yeah, I'm a NieR fan. More than
I own Drakengard on PS2.
Oh, you haven't played them? Oh, okay.
Oh, have fun dressing up as 2B for the 700th time and getting thousands of dollars on your OnlyFans.
Coming to a personal place.
That is a little close, though.
That
one. Hey, he's been practicing that one for a while.
He had that one in the chamber.
I'm sorry. But if you want to be a popular cosplayer, your first one out the gate, just do 2B. You'll get enough money to fund your next cosplay at least.
It's true.
But congrats. I'm glad that more people are buying it because 5.5 million sales means a sequel.
Yeah, it's big.
Because NieR Replicant's not actually a sequel, it's just more of a remaster.
Yeah, it's like a remaster thing.
Yeah. But then again, that narrative will take Yoko Taro probably ages. I don't understand the subtext of the version 1.22474487139, but it's very Yoko Taro.
It's very Yoko Taro. I made like an April Fool's post last year about how Yoko Taro was directing a Kingdom Hearts game, and like the number one thing that you do is you add numbers and brackets, and it's like that's his thing. It's like how Tetsuya Nomura has zippers and belts. You know, Yoko Taro has numbers and brackets.
You know what's gonna suck is if he makes a game that bombs.
That'd be a real shame because that would dissuade everyone.
Right now he's on the top, you know, and if he makes a game that's not good, like that's gonna knock him off. It happens with Nomura. It happens with all like these big developers. Like how many people were pissed off at Nomura for what he did to Final Fantasy VII Remake or what they think he did?
Even
like,
KH3.
Yeah,
he's been knocked off a couple times.
Yeah, it's
there's so many smarmy Reddit comments that are like, "Oh, Nomura's involved." Yeah, I don't think so. Not after those two. And you're like, guys, calm down.
Yeah, I think it'll suck if he ever makes a bad game. Yeah. But I'm very excited for NieR Replicant. For you, I'm so excited that I bought that stupidly expensive limited edition, and I know I'm gonna regret it when they charge me in what is it, April?
Yeah.
Wow, is that next month? No, next month is March.
2 months.
Thank God. Okay.
Yeah, you got some time to accrue some funds.
I'll be good. I'll be good in April.
Pack it away, and then you'll be all good.
But I'm excited for it, and I'm excited to see more butts.
Yeah, I mean, to say that you're not excited to see more butts, for anyone to say that would be disingenuous.
Yes,
we just keep it real.
Yeah, and that's what we do here on this show is we do keep it real.
That's why we're unqualified.
I'm excited. I'm excited for whatever they do, and I mean, you know, Square Enix this year in general, dude. Like, come on, what are they? Why they have like 2021 is their year. It's like correct me if I'm wrong. Final Fantasy 16 is not releasing this year, right?
I don't think so. I'd be shocked.
I hope they don't.
If it did.
I want them to hold off on that.
I want them to take their time.
Yeah, I don't need a Final Fantasy right now. When Final Fantasy 15 came out, I needed a Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it had been a long time, but right now it's like, all right, I don't mind waiting.
Yeah, let this year be the year of Final Fantasy 14. We can do the, what is it, Endwalker? Is that what it's?
Yeah, Endwalker.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that. And that's good. That's good.
I think that would be completely satisfactory for a lot of people.
Yeah. But I don't need a Final Fantasy. What I do need is a Saga Frontier 2 announcement, so everyone better buy Saga Frontier when it comes out.
I'd take a little Dragon Quest, you know what I'm saying? It's a little announcement maybe. They said that they're working on 12, so I don't know. Maybe bring some of the spin-offs here. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Why not?
Monsters, Joker 3, and the remakes of the Game Boy games, bring them over.
Yeah, just do it.
Dragon Quest has taken off thanks to Smash and 11, so
is that true?
It's taken off more than it did before. It was hard being a Dragon Quest fan back in the day.
It's still a little hard because Dragon Quest is just so traditional, and I love it. And as a fan of traditional JRPGs, I respect them for what they're doing. But it's very niche.
I guess it is, which is sad because it's possibly my favorite series. It's one of my favorite series. So it's like, as a kid, I played it on Game Boy, and I thought that everyone did because I was a child. So I was like, oh, everyone knows what a Draki is. It's as iconic as a Zubat. It was not as iconic as a Zubat.
I think it sucked for me because once I got into the game industry, I was still calling it Dragon Warrior, and I still I got caught up in conversation, and I would say Dragon Warrior, and I felt kind of dumb, but I still do that now with like just random.
You can be like, I was a fan back in the day. Like, I'm an old fan. I still call it Warrior.
Yeah, but now I can't get away with Dragon Warrior
because now there's Warrior games, Dragon Quest Warriors, so it can't be Dragon Warriors.
Yeah, shit, you're right. Yeah, if they do the thing about Dragon Quest, I think, dude, honestly, they should just tone down the accents and those.
I love the accents.
Okay, I love them,
silly.
But I feel like that hurts it a little bit.
I don't know. I can't picture it without. It's like saying to turn down the puns in Dragon Quest. I can't picture it. It's too iconic.
It's good. I think it's good. They did it with the new Star Ocean too, right? They had the
people love Xenoblade. That's full of accents.
They don't love those accents though.
That's true. Well, everyone loves Shulk's accent. Come on.
Oh, but Xenoblade 2, everyone talks bad about it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I guess it just depends on the accent, but I mean, most Dragon Quest games don't have voice acting, so it's fine.
I think I wouldn't, I wouldn't know. I think the problem with Dragon Quest also is that the timeline is not official. So people don't know where to start. People don't know where to begin. And
although you can really start with any. If you're watching right now and you want to start Dragon Quest, I would say start with any. Start with 11. Why not start with?
Yeah, it's on everything now, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much on everything. Yeah, the special edition is. So.
That's the best edition. Should have got it at launch, but
I agree.
Well, I think that's our episode.
Yeah.
We got some Square Enix talk. We love Square Enix, by the way. We're big fans. But as fans, we know when to criticize them when they're doing something wrong.
That's true.
Right now,
there's no shortage of Square criticism here.
Yeah. What sucks is that they're doing so much right.
Yeah. So it looks like we're shilling, but
yeah,
they're just doing a lot right.
Yeah. I can try to reach for something wrong that they're doing, but I can't even think of anything right now.
I can't really either. Why'd you make a Kingdom Hearts rhythm game canon?
Why? It kind of sucks that they don't release physical editions of the Saga games and all the Switch games that they're bringing over.
Yeah,
they need to be a little more. They need to be a little more confident.
There's our slap on the wrist for Square Enix for today.
Yeah, fuck you, Square.
Come on, guys. Yeah, you're doing most things right, but come on.
Where's that confidence? So here's to NieR Replicant's release and to Butts.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
And hopefully,
what was the specific day? April 24th?
April 23rd.
April 23rd. So 1 day less than 2 months away. So everybody get ready.
Yeah.
Play Automata ASAP.
Yeah. I might play it. You know what? Fuck it. I'll play it. I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it this weekend.
That's going to be the game.
I'm going to beat it. And we're going to talk about it. I'll tell you a little bit about my NieR Automata Butt Fest next week.
I'm excited for that. I'm looking forward to that.
Okay. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. We will post this and yeah. Let us know later if we are messing up in the comments below.
Yeah. Comment. Tell us. What do you think?
Yeah.
We want to know.
Why we're messing up. And what you're gonna do about it.
Maybe you love pointing out typos. Maybe that's your passion. Tell us.
Okay. Have a good week. Bye.
See you guys.